Welcome everyone to this episode of Coffee with Colleagues. I am here today with our colleague from the UK, out down in Southampton, Havant area, Mike Sadler. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Well, thank you.
I'm Carl, CEO of Season Group and SG Wireless, and today I've invited Mike to join us with this episode so he can share a little bit of perspective on life at Season Group UK, life in the UK, and maybe a bit of fortune telling on what 2022 has in store for us and 2023 as well too. So with that said, Mike, let's begin. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your role at Season Group, what you do, how long you've been with us, anything you feel comfortable?
I started at this facility about 13 years ago now.
Okay.
At the time, it wasn't part of the Season Group. It was a previous company. But what I have seen since Season Group owned the company is a massive change. So I started off as an SMT technician. So I'd run the pick and place machines, generate programs, all the day-to-day things. So that's kind of evolved where we didn't have an engineering department. So we've kind of evolved and now we have one. So we've kind of taken a few people from different areas, different expertise. And now we have actually an engineering department, which we didn't have before. So for me, that's a massive step forward. And
who's leading that department now?
Andy Mayton.
Andy, are you serious? Andy is the leader of engineering, and you think it's in good hands? Really?
He's a nice guy. I've actually known Andy longer than I've been here because we actually worked at a previous company together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I got to share with you a story about Andy. My first time meeting with Andy was at a restaurant down in Southampton, and we're having a nice meal. But I swear, and you can verify those, Andy. He probably had 3 loaves of bread on top of his meal. Kept on asking for bread. I'm like, okay, he likes his carbs, but he works out too. So I'm like, he likes his carbs. But that was my first image of Andy, and I think he was really nervous. So he just the nervous ate up all the bread. But yeah, great guy. He's our internationally renowned DJ.
Yes.
So
yes.
We played his music all around the world at our facilities. Everyone knows of DJ Andy Mayton now, who turns out also here moonlighting. That is, yes. Continue, Mike.
Yeah. So I say, being here so long, I've seen a lot of changes. All positive. We didn't have maybe that togetherness that we have now. And I think the core values have helped with that. Going back to maybe a previous regime, we didn't have that maybe respect from certain leaders. Yeah. And I think that's the big difference, where we are actually more of a team now. And it's not about who's in charge or anything like that. Everyone's got an opinion, everyone's listened to, and everyone has an input, which is, for me, it was always, the way it should be anyway. There's no point in one person making the decision if not everyone's going to buy into it, or if it's, maybe not the right decision for everyone.
Yep.
So, yeah, I say big changes. Looking at some investment, hopefully very soon, within the SMT area. I think it's needed. We need to push forward with technology, with volumes that we're hopefully looking at for certainly this year and hopefully even better next year. So customer base, order books, all looking very good. Obviously, we have the component issues within the supply chain. And again, hopefully those issues will ease into next year. And all going well, as long as we can, purchase what we need to purchase, we should be flying next year. I think we'll have an even better year next year than this year, and this year was a very good year.
So no pressure there, Ricky Eaton. No pressure.
Oh, well, I do feel for Ricky. I really do, and all the team in the purchasing department. I mean, I've often talked to the guys, and they're kind of head in their hands, and a component that used to be 50 pence, we can get them in for £5 each now. It's, the prices are soaring. People are being, a little bit cagey in the market and buying up parts and trying to make a profit from the situation, obviously, which is not a good thing.
Well, I think that's human nature. Where it reminds me of the beginning of the pandemic when people were hoarding. What was it? The Lysol wipes, the hand sanitizers, toilet paper, everything.
Pasta. That was one.
Yeah, pasta. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yes, I remember seeing a car, and it was a hatchback, so you could see in the rear window, and the whole car was just full of toilet rolls. And you just think to yourself, why? Okay, I get it's human nature, but there's more to human nature than just looking after yourself, isn't there?
Indeed. And there's toilet paper should be the last thing people are worried about if you're going to hoard. But
yeah,
to each their own. To each their own. But yeah, okay. So we touched a little bit on that the employee engagement, the culture that Mike and the rest of the team have helped develop over the UK. And I think a lot of it's built around the team that you have there too, where everyone's bought in, and it's really helped build this culture. So it's certainly very nice to see. I think that core values helps in a sense. How about our mission statement, our vision side of things too? Mission statement being the trying to improve the world's living standard, right? Trying to make this a better place to live in. Our vision of making people love their job.
Yes. Yeah.
Does that come to play? Does that bring a smile to you? Does that is what brings you to work every day? What makes this your raison d'être?
The people that are here, that's a very, very big part of it. And for me, it's because of the role I'm in, it's constant challenges. There's constant improvements to be made. Every day is different. I can come into work and I can have a plan. This is what I'm going to do today, and that will go out the window by about 9 o'clock because other things will happen real time. So for me, it's the variation of what I do and the people that I do it with.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot here, just like I did our colleague here in Hong Kong as well too. You mentioned people that you enjoy working. Who's your most favorite person in the UK to work with?
My most favorite. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd probably say Joseph.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, a very good guy. Young family like myself. We work within the same department. Very helpful. He's more of an IT guru, shall we say?
Yep.
So I mean, a lot of us do look to him for support in that area.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you who your least favorite person is, but we all know who it is. But yeah. Okay. Good. And then so back to the pandemic, because we are living in the pandemic still. How has it affected your work at Season? And has it changed the way you interact with your colleagues?
How has it affected me? I did have a spell of furlough, which sounds great. You get to stay at home, but then at the time, staying at home, you couldn't go out, you couldn't do anything anyway, so you're kind of all enclosed in the house. So for me, that wasn't very enjoyable. It's not something I'd like to do again at all. Work-wise, we don't see as many customers in the facility as we'd like to. We've kind of made a decision where it has to be production critical to have visitors in. So we're controlling that aspect of it and obviously limiting the risk within the facility. And I suppose working with people has changed to a degree where you kind of you have that more distance in between each other. Shop floor has been changed where people don't sit too close to each other. There was a safe distance between benches, between work areas. So I mean, I think we've adapted. I think we've done very well. I think we've managed the risk very well. We tend to lateral flow test twice a week, and I don't know of anyone that doesn't do that. So I think everyone's pretty on board. You know, we want to keep not just the facility going and safe, but obviously it affects outside work as well. So everyone's kind of looking out for each other in that respect.
Yep.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think staying at home portion, the whole working from home thing. This is a topic that we had with our other colleagues as well too. It's not as glamorous and fun as people think, right? Staying at home, it sucks. There's only so much Netflix you can watch. I can tell you there is to watch on Netflix. So there isn't that much content. Having said that, I just signed up for Disney Plus, so I've got a whole catalog to work through if there was a. But yeah, so focusing in on the furlough and the time as well too. Obviously, because of that, you've had more time outside of work. When you are stuck at home or when you're not in the office, what have you been able to do?
For me, it's like I say, I've got quite a young family. It's getting out with the family, going to the park. I mean, at one point the parks were closed.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I was one of those people with millions of others, I think, who bought a trampoline. We've got a very small back garden, so you know that was one of the other things that are in short supply was trampolines for some reason. Everybody wanted a trampoline in the summer, you know. So yeah, to get out with the children, really, get out, fresh air, down to a park, take a football. We've got a lake near us with ducks and swans, and you can go and feed. So yeah, just out and about, really.
I think that's good for people, just being able to go outside, get some sun. We all know how the Brits love their sun, so getting out there would be nice. How about hobbies? Did you pick up any hobbies?
No, not really. I'll be honest. No, just looking after, say, spending time with the family, really, and sort of more interested in what they're interested in.
Yeah. I think with the young kids, it's tough to pick up any hobbies for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I wish I had a hobby like my son does. And say he's 13 now, and he started, I think something along the lines of stop-start animation. So he's a Lego fanatic. I mean, he loves his Lego, has done from a very small age. So what he does is he will set up a station with figures and very small movements and record each frame and then put it together. It's quite interesting. Yeah, I wish I had that sort of imagination, I think. So kind of encourage that.
Imagination, I'm sure he picked it up from someone, right?
Oh, he was seen on YouTube.
No, I'm talking genetics wise. Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, I think what you need is more the time and the rest. And we all know you don't have any rest when you have a 3-year-old, right?
No, that's right.
You'll get your sleep 3 years down the road. Once they're 6, then I think then you'll have your sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy that my daughter's now 6 years old, and I'm actually able to get a full nights of sleep undisturbed most nights. So
yeah.
I've been able.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Years down the road. Yeah. So if there is one thing that you would want to be known as in season group to all of your season group colleagues, just one thing, how do you want to be known as?
Helpful.
Helpful. Yep.
Helpful.
Good.
Approachable.
Yep.
So, you know, someone will come and ask me a question. If I can help, I will help. Yep. I will do my best. If I think it's not something that I would be able to help with, then I'll steer them in the right direction or bring someone else in that can help. So yeah, helpful, I think.
And that's something we're trying to promote internationally as well too, right? Each site, we have a lot of good talent at each site, and we all face different challenges each time. If we operate as a silo and try to solve it ourselves, it's hard. You're in this situation, you might not be able to look outside of the box. So I always tell our colleagues, call up guys in the UK, call up guys in Malaysia, call up guys in Mexico, whatever it is. You have 1,500 colleagues to rely on. Many want to help each other out. And so let's promote that. Don't be afraid of asking questions, and don't be afraid of being helpful. Let's push each other to talk more. So
Yeah.
very great, very good. So in terms of timing wise, it's January 13th now, just the beginning of 2022. What was something in 2021 that you're quite proud of, either work related or personal related?
I think I'm quite proud. I think I touched on it earlier, of certainly how my son has dealt with last year. Very, very proud of that. It's not affected its development. I thought it might, but it hasn't. So very, very proud of that. And yeah, just dealing with what's happened. To be honest with you, yeah, couldn't be prouder.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just getting through the last 2 years, I think that is a testimony to our strength as a humankind. And there's been a lot of instances of hoarding, like we mentioned, and a lot of bad human behavior, but there's been a lot of good as well.
Oh,
right?
definitely, yes. I don't know. You maybe heard for quite a while we would go out. I think it was 7 o'clock in the evening and clap and make noise for the NHS, for
Yes.
our health service.
Yep.
And that was at times that was quite emotional.
It is.
To have,
It is.
a whole street of people out there and cheering and clapping, for people that you don't know. You know what they do, but you don't actually know the people. It's yeah.
Well, it's all of them, right? The NHS, people, healthcare workers, teachers, right? They've been amazing when they can, because it's not easy trying to teach kids over Zoom at all.
No, that's right. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Even just the people helping us cleaning and maintain some sort of order in society. It's a lot to be proud of about humankind. So and I think your beard is something you have to be very, very proud of as well too. Compared to what I saw Paul Conroy there, yours is much better than what he grew back in November. So yeah. What's one thing you learned in 2021 that you would want to take into 2022?
Wow, another good question. What have I learned in 2021? Again, a continuation, I think, of just people pulling together, and how powerful that can be, and how much more we can achieve by doing that. You touched earlier about going to the right person, or having an issue or a problem or an opportunity, and actually being able to talk to other people about that. And that's something that's maybe been more apparent last year. And yeah, we can hopefully continue into this year.
Yeah, one of the things, and I talked about this, I think it was talked about with Judy in my conversation last year, Judy Neville. It's taking every opportunity to tell your loved ones you love them. I think that's mightily important. I think previously there's always another day, right? Wait till next time, kind of thing. Now it's you really never know, right? You really cherish every time you're having that family dinner. Yeah, definitely. I was hoping that this would, when I had that conversation last year, I was hoping that this year already things would be back to normal. But apparently not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that was the thing. I mean, we all hoped 2021 would be back to normal, but it's just been a continuation, and kind of not got used to it, but it's become, unfortunately, a way of life. It's hard to it's hard to explain, but it's almost as if it's always been here. It's hard to remember what it was like before.
I know. It's like my kids, when we go out, they're always like, oh, face mask. I'm like, I'm just hoping for that day where they realize you don't have to wear a face mask to go out. That would be such a great day. All right.
At the moment, we wear them in shops here.
Yeah.
So, like I say, my 3-year-old, I'll get ready, I'll put my jacket on. Daddy's going to pop to the shop. Daddy, have you got your mask? She's 3 years old, you know, and that's because it's normal. That's her normal, you know. It's unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. I had this conversation with my 6-year-old daughter last night. I got home late from dinner, late to dinner, after work, and so I got changed instead of showered. I usually shower when I get home, but I just got changed. And after dinner, I put her to bed, and then generally in bed, she would like time to cuddle. And so last night she was like, "Daddy, have you showered yet?" I'm like, "No." And then, "Did you wash your face?" I'm like, "I think so." And then she's like, "Did you wash your feet?" I'm like, "No." And then she's like, "Slipper." I'm like, "No." And, and then she debated, like, should she let me onto her bed, right?
Because you haven't had a shower. Yes,
Yeah.
you've broken that routine, you see.
Okay, fine, come on in. I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you." Yeah, she's got that sense now, which is good and bad, I guess. But yeah, definitely it's become the new norm. Hopefully to be over with soon. But on that note, to end it off as well to 2022, any sort of a personal or work related goal? I prefer personal goals more than anything really that you want to achieve this year.
Personal goals, a little bit outside the business, but I'd like to move. I'd like to move to a bigger house.
Yeah.
Because we just haven't got enough bedrooms at the moment. So that's going to be a plan and aim for next year, definitely.
How's the market doing in the UK right now? I heard it's going quite crazy.
Yes, the the buying market, yeah, I think it's shot up by 10% over last year, which is the largest rise for, I think, about nearly 20 years, or 2004, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all of a sudden everything's more expensive, and not just property, as maybe you've heard as well, gas, electric, all the day-to-day things, everything's just gone up so much at the moment.
It is. Yeah, it's a reflection of the all the component costs that's gone up as well too. Everything's getting more expensive. So I fear what that results in is that interest rates will be going up very, very soon, quite significantly. So hopefully that stalls the inflation a bit. But again, that will mean a lot of people will get in trouble. Those who are heavily leveraged.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Balance all of that. Yeah, Mike, I really enjoyed this conversation today with you, as I always do with a lot of the colleagues over in the UK. You guys have been you guys are a unique culture. I like the openness, the engagement that has been built through even the town halls that you do.
Yes. Yes.
Very
Okay.
unique.
Do you watch some of those? Listen into some of those?
I get the presentation sent over,
Okay.
so what's been discussed for sure. And I can tell you, Mike and the whole leadership team there is very, very transparent with everyone there, and I think it helps build it. I think it aligns everyone for sure. The few times that I sat in on a town hall, I always enjoyed being put on the spot as well too. So you guys just keep on doing what you're doing. It's definitely magical. It's fun.
We try to invoke a little bit of fun into pretty much everything we do. So there is a lot of what we call banter. We do have quite a joke with each other, and all with humour.
Unfortunately, Andy's at the tail end of a lot of those jokes. So I apologize, Andy. I take full responsibility for that. But yeah, Mike, thank you very much today.
Thank you.